Parents, what horrifying thing did you discover about your kids? I never thought I'd have a story until last month. My 15-year-old son Jake had been getting straight A's for the first time ever, helping with chores without being asked, even bought me flowers just because. I should have been thrilled, but something felt off. Perfect kids don't exist, especially not Jake, who'd been getting C's and D's his whole life. Then I got a call from our neighbor, Mrs. Chen. I think you should know what your son's been doing while you're at work. She invited me over and showed me her security footage. There was Jake, letting himself into our house with elderly Mr. Peterson from down the street. I thought maybe you'd asked him to help, she said nervously. But watch what happens next. On screen, I watched my son guide the confused old man to our kitchen table. Jake pulled out homework and textbooks, then sat beside Mr. Peterson, patiently helping him write in what looked like a checkbook. My stomach dropped. Mr. Peterson has dementia. His family moved him to our neighborhood 6 months ago because they couldn't handle his care anymore. How long has this been happening? I asked. About 2 months. Always the same time, right after school. Jake brings him over, they sit for about an hour, then Jake walks him home. I rushed home and searched Jake's room. Hidden under his mattress was a folder labeled business records. Inside were photocopies of checks made out to Jake Morrison Tutoring Services, all signed by Mr. Peterson in shaky handwriting. $50, $75, $100, dozens of them over the past 2 months. Some had for Tommy's college, written in the memo line. There was also a composition notebook with detailed observations written in Jake's neat handwriting. Forgets conversations after 10 minutes. Thinks I'm his grandson Tommy who died in Afghanistan. Best approach, mention his late wife Dorothy. Makes him emotional and grateful. Never correct him about Tommy. It upsets him. The next page made my blood run cold. Mrs. Patterson, early stages. Still drives but gets confused about money. Widowed, lonely. Strategy, offer to help with bills. Mr. Rodriguez, lives alone, family never visits. Believes I'm his neighbor's son. Very trusting. When Jake came home, I was sitting at the kitchen table with everything spread out in front of me. He saw the checks and notebook and his face didn't change at all. No panic, no guilt, just mild annoyance, like I'd found his hidden video games. We need to talk, I said, my voice shaking. He sat down casually and shrugged. Okay. Jake, this is stealing. These people have dementia. Mr. Peterson is happy to help. He thinks he's paying his grandson for college tuition. I keep him company, help him remember things. It's not like his real family ever visits. The coldness in his voice terrified me. You're lying to confused elderly people and taking their money, and I'm keeping them company. Mrs. Patterson told me I'm the only person who talks to her all week. Mr. Rodriguez makes me sandwiches and tells me stories about Mexico. They're lonely. I help them feel useful. By stealing from them. By giving them purpose, he corrected, like he was explaining something obvious to a child. I called Adult Protective Services that night. When they investigated, they found Jake had been doing this with 3 other elderly neighbors. He'd researched each of their family histories online to create believable stories about why he needed money. Mrs. Patterson thought she was helping her nephew pay for car repairs. Mr. Rodriguez believed he was contributing to his friend's son's basketball team fees. The total was over $3,000. My honor student's son had been running a systematic con game on confused elderly people for months. During the investigation, we learned Jake had been forging permission slips to leave school early, telling teachers he had a job helping seniors. Even his guidance counselor praised him for his community service. He's facing juvenile fraud charges now. During court-mandated therapy, he keeps insisting he was helping them feel useful and providing companionship they weren't getting from their real families. The therapist told me Jake shows signs of antisocial personality disorder. He can mimic empathy perfectly, but doesn't actually feel it. Last week, I found a new notebook in his room. It contained detailed profiles of other neighbors, including their schedules, financial situations, and emotional vulnerabilities. My name was on the last page with a note. Knows about the others now? More careful, possible new approach, college savings guilt. I don't know who my son really is anymore. The kid I thought was finally growing up was actually becoming a predator.